Good morning, students. Today we will be doing chapter 6 of geography, that is water. When we hear the word water, so many images comes to our mind. The waterfalls, the drain drops, water from the tap. We know that all of us like seeing water or playing in the water. The sun's heat causes evaporation of water vapors, and when the water vapor cools down, it condenses and forms clouds. From there, it may fall on the land or sea in the form of rain, snow, or sleet. This is known as a water cycle. We know that 3/4 of Earth's surface is covered by water. But out of this water, only 1% is suitable for drinking. The process by which the water keeps on changing its form and it circulates between ocean, atmosphere and land, that is known as the water cycle. The water which is available, that is always constant. We can say that our earth is like a terrarium. The same water which is there today, that will be there centuries after also. The water used to irrigate in a field in Madhya Pradesh or Himalaya or Haryana, that may have flown to Amazon river. Means water keeps on circulating. The major sources of fresh water, the distribution of water bodies. We know that water is available in different bodies. There are different water bodies available. Out of the water, 97.3 is in the form of ocean water, which is salty water, which cannot be used for drinking. As ice caps 0.2, groundwater is 0.68%, and freshwater lake is 0.009. Inland seas and salt lakes again 0.009%. Atmosphere also is having 0.0019, and the rivers are having 0.001. So around 1% of water only is fresh water, which is available for us to drink for the consumption. We have water in the form of lakes, in the form of waterfalls, we have in the form of rivers, as well as oceans, seas. Different form water is available. When we say that only 1% of the water resource is available for us to drink, it remembers me of a line from Samuel Taylor. Poet write it, writes in his poem that water, water everywhere, but not a drop to drink. Today, we are also having the same situation. There are so many sources of water bodies, but we have only very few which are useful for drinking or which are good for drinking. There is lot of scarcity of water, especially in the case of fresh water. We know that the water alone can only help us to fulfill our thirst. When we are thirsty, we need water. We cannot satisfy our thirst with something else. If we think, we know that so many times, knowingly or unknowingly, or because of our negligence, we waste lot of water. Very carelessly we use water. But it is time to save the water. You can see the condition of people who are drinking water which are not safe. People who are for collecting water, who walks kilometers to get a little bit of safe drinking water. Many of the rivers in the country, not only in our country, in other countries also, they are in danger of drying out. Also, pollution is another reason that we don't have sufficient fresh water, because most of the rivers are polluted. The ocean river. When we talk about the ocean river, there is something magical about that. When we reached near the ocean itself, we could see always ocean is having a mesmerism, or we can say that it is having a special attraction, whether elders or children, everybody likes to walk near the seashore. The wet sand on the beach, the cool breeze, the smell of that salty water or air, it is very fascinating, or it gives us a very good positive energy. In the ponds and rivers, we see that very calm water, but in ocean we can see that water is always on move. It keeps on moving, it is on continuously on move. It never still, like a pond or like a lake. Ocean water is never, it is still. The movement that occur in ocean can be classified into waves, tides and currents. Three different types of movement. One is waves, the normal waves, tides as well as current. Sometimes these waves, they take a gigantic form, or we can say that they take a very aggressive form. For example, during the tsunami, the height of the wave goes up to 150 meters high, or 15, even beyond that. Sometimes tsunami waves get into the villages, 10 kilometers, 15 kilometers inside the villages. For example, in 2004, the tsunami which hit our coastal area, that was very dangerous, as well as lot of harm was done. Have you ever been to the seashore? You might have noticed that if you play with a ball on the beach and if the ball falls in the water, the ball gets washed back. It flows and then it gets washed back to the shore by the waves. When the water on the surface of the ocean rises and falls alternatively, they are called waves. When the water on the surface of the ocean, the water which is on the top layer of the ocean, that comes up and goes down in a rhythmic manner, that is known as waves. But during a storm, the winds blowing at very high speed from huge waves. This may be sometimes due to the earthquake or volcanic eruption or underwater landslide, anything like that could be natural. That result to a huge tidal wave called tsunami. Tsunami occurs like that when some or the other kind of underwater activity take place or a lot of pressure comes in the ocean, it happens. The largest tsunami that ever measured was 150 meters high and its speed 700 kilometers per hour. The tsunami which occurred in our country in 2004 December 26, that did lot of damage. Actually, that was the result of an earthquake that occurred in Sumatra, or it started from epicenter was Sumatra, from there, and that earthquake's magnitude was 9.0, means earthquake itself was quite higher one, or it was quite bigger one. As a result, the tsunami also was having a very negative effect. We cannot predict earthquake coming, but it is possible to give a 3-hour notice for tsunami, because there may be some unusual behavior of waves. Due to that, we'll be able to identify. Whenever any such alarming situation comes, what we have to do is we need to immediately move from that place, as well as we need to vacate the people, those who are living near the ocean or near the sea, so that casualties will be that much less. Another type of movement on the ocean, that is tides. In a rhythmic manner, when the ocean water rise and fall twice in a day, that is known as tide. It is high tide when the water covers much of the shore by raising to its highest level, that is high tide, and when it goes back, it is low tide when the water falls to its lowest level and from the seashore it goes back. There are two types of high tide as well as low tides are there. The reason for this tide is the strong gravitational pull exerted by the sun and the moon on the earth's surface that cause the tide. Due to the gravitational pull of the sun and the moon, that is having an effect on the earth's surface. Because of that only the water of the earth closer to the moon and gets pulled. That becomes high tides reason. On the other hand, for the low tide, when the moon is in the first and last quarter, the ocean's waters get drawn in diagonally opposite directions by gravitational pull of sun and earth, resulting in low tide. This tide is called the neap tide, and whereas the high tide is known as a spring tide. We know that so many ships as well as boat, they go for navigation, sometimes for fishing. High tide help in navigation. Now let us see the ocean current, another form of movement in the ocean. A stream of water flowing constantly on the ocean surface in definite direction. There will be a stream of water flowing. If you just watch river also, you'll be able to see that within the river itself small streams are flowing. Same way the ocean also. The ocean currents may be warm or cold, depends on that only the temperature level of the coastal area will be. Generally the warm ocean current originates near the equator and moves toward the pole. The seas around Japan as well as eastern coast of North America are warm and cold current. See various how the water bodies or streams are moving in particular direction. They are moving, they keep on moving. The cold areas are marked with the red color and the other areas are marked with the Thank you for listening and read the book.